So we've got a few more people arriving. We're going to get kicked off in about 1 minute's time. Just repeat again, if you're having any problems with audio or the visual side of things, please use the chat window, and we can and then Victoria will help you out with any of those problems. Okay, great. We're going to get started now. So thanks everyone for coming along. So what we're talking about is how to get leads from your website. And I've been helping accountants with their websites and online marketing for over 5 years now. And a comment I often hear is that the only way to get new clients is from referrals. And the people who say that to me often tell me that it's not worth putting time into online marketing. But obviously, if you don't put any effort into your website and online marketing, then they're not going to be effective. And guess what? You don't get any leads from them. So for firms that think like that, it is true that you will only ever get leads from referrals. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, I definitely won't dispute that for 99% of accountants, referrals will be your main source of leads. But I also know that lots of firms are getting plenty of leads from their website every month. And these are leads that they wouldn't otherwise have had. Now, as I'm the CEO of BizInk and we sell websites and online marketing tools for accountants, I guess you're thinking, well, I would say that. Well, another thing I've learned from working with accountants is that you like to see evidence and results. So that's why I think you'll really value the webinar today, where you'll hear from Kate Jessop, who's been using online marketing to get some amazing results for Omnis Group, who are an accounting firm in Perth. So just at this point, I'm going to have a look at that poll that you voted in, and I can see that actually 57% of people are not getting any leads from their website at all. 39% of people are getting 1 to 5, and we've got 4% who are getting 11 to 20. So, you know, the majority of people are getting nothing through the website, which, to be honest, bears out, you know, what we find when we're talking to firms. So hopefully you'll get a lot from the webinar today. I'm going to introduce Kate now. And on screen you'll be able to read a brief summary of her background and the results she's achieved for Omnis Group, which I think you'll agree are pretty impressive. And what stands out for me is that, you know, they're getting an average of 16 leads every month, with 60% of those leads converting into clients. And these are clients with an average yearly value of 4,000 Australian dollars. Now, Kate's been a client of BizInk for over 2 years, and she's been using our content for Omnis Group's website and online marketing. And I was chatting to Kate last year, and she told me about the amount of leads she was getting through the website, and more importantly, how many were becoming clients. So I obviously wanted to know exactly how she was doing that. And while I'm pleased that BizInk content is a part of her success, it's actually her strategy and tactics that have enabled such outstanding results. So today she's kindly agreed to share her methods and show you exactly how you can turn your website from a brochure into a reliable source of new business. So with that, I'll hand over to you, Kate.
Thanks, Matt. That's great. Okay, well, hi everyone. Yeah, so as Matt said, today what I want to do is just take you through exactly what I did with the accountancy firm that I work for. So I joined them a couple of years ago now, and really we saw, you know, a significant percentage of the leads that Matt has just discussed come through in the first sort of year or so. So, you know, the changes can be made extremely quickly so that you can see results, you know, almost immediately in some circumstances. Okay, then, so let's just dive straight into what I hope is going to be quite a practical session for you guys. Okay. Right, so first thing I want to do is just take you through a little bit of background, just sort of set the scene, like I say, and really explain why what I've done is fairly different to a lot of the methodology that you probably have heard in the past. So just to set the scene, here's the traditional online marketing funnel. You know, it gives a huge amount of emphasis and attention to attracting customers to your site, with the theory being that the more visitors you attract, the more customers you're going to get. I personally believe this is rather flawed in the fact that if you're not getting any leads from your existing website, and you will have website traffic going there, the chances are that you've got a conversion issue somewhere along the line. So doubling the amount of traffic, yep, great, it might double your results, but if your results are currently 0, that doesn't really help you. So what I did is actually looked at it, you know, from a different perspective, and started looking at the end of the funnel first. So you actually need to improve your site. So first, you're converting traffic. You know, if you're going to be getting some traffic going to your website, you know, and you want to be spending your time making sure you convert the traffic that's already going there before you invest time in looking and getting more traffic. You know, so once you're starting regularly seeing clients and leads coming through your website, you know, then yeah, great, we can start looking at attracting more visitors. So I'm just going to, you know, use this methodology and take you through exactly what I did. And really, with this sort of thing, you're going to see fairly instant results. So I'm going to start just taking you through all of the different steps. And we're going to focus on conversion first of all, because this, I really do believe, everything I'm going to go through today will have the biggest overall impact on your results online. So I'm going to take you through the steps I did to improve our conversion rate. You know, and it's really based on the theory that if you're getting 1% conversion with 300 monthly visitors, it's far more effective and a use of your time than spending time attracting 600 visitors and only getting a 0.5 conversion rate. Okay, so one of the first things you know, I did was really review the site and make sure that it was immediately clear what we actually did. And I will just highlight that this is a relatively new website. We have recently rebranded. We were originally Flavor Tierney. However, you know, so I made these changes on an older website and still got these sort of results. So don't feel that you know, you have to invest in a new website or anything. It's, you know, the methodology will stand up, you know, no matter what your website is. So I'll say the first thing you need to do is make sure it's immediately clear what you do. You know, and this is something I introduced on the website straight away. So as we can see here, we've got the logo in the top left with a little summary of what the services are we offer. You know, it's essential that when people are Googling, you know, they're going to click on your website, and you've got about half a second to 3 seconds for them to take a look at the site they've clicked through to, so your website, and decide, you know, fairly instantly if you are going to be able to assist them with what they want. So if they're looking for a business accountant, they want to see straight away that that is you. They're not going to spend time searching your site initially, so, you know, make sure you overcome that immediately. I went for the top left-hand side by the logo or underneath the logo, because all eye tracking studies show that actually this is the first place people look when they go to a website. So, and also you just need to make sure you get some basic housekeeping right. So as I say, you've got 3 seconds before somebody's going to make a decision whether to stay or go. So you need to make sure your website looks professional, that it's easy to navigate, so you've got clear navigation and a clear menu. Also that it follows expected protocol. You know, some people want a whizzing new site that's very different. However, you know, if customers aren't familiar with what they're looking at, they get nervous, and then the chances are they will back and you've lost them. Also make sure your website's not too cluttered. It's got to feel inviting so that people feel comfortable to actually come into your website and engage with you. You know, so once you've overcome all this, the chances are they're going to stay on your website. Then it's essential to make sure you've got contact details very clearly and prominently on your top right-hand corner of every page. It does sound very simple, but it's very, very often overlooked. You just need to make it clear and very simple for people to contact you. The reason I go for top right-hand side is because I say eye tracking studies show the first place they look is the left, then the second place they look is the top right-hand corner. So they actually end up looking in a zigzag, so it sort of goes from the here to here and then to this section. So you need to make sure that they can immediately contact you once they decide that, yep, you've got the services that they want and stuff. And I know it does sound simple, but a lot of things that make a huge difference to actually generating leads are relatively simple, but very easily overlooked. And also here, I would advise you to, you know, have a number of ways customers can contact you. So whether it's a phone number, email, social media. Also, allow users of your website to get in touch their way. So, you know, we don't want to pigeonhole them and say, right, you've got to phone us. Some people are just not going to be comfortable picking up the phone at this stage. And if that's the only option they have to contact you, they're not going to do anything at all. So you've lost a potential customer. So we very quickly included a contact us box on the home page. So it was just allowing them to name, email and a quick query, whether we can help them with something. But it starts a dialogue, you know, and within probably 2 to 3 weeks, we were getting between 3 and 5 messages a week. Not all of them were converting, but it just opens that dialogue. And also, we've then got some contact information so we can follow them up at a later date. So yeah, you know, sending a message as well, it just feels like a less risky option for a lot of people, so they're not actually on the phone where they might be worried they're going to get sold to. So it allows them to collect more information and, you know, make a decision without, you know, feeling that they can't contact you. I actually prefer these sort of contact us boxes rather than an email, because my concern being that the minute you send someone out with an email address, the chances are they could get pulled into messages in their inbox and stuff. So you don't want anything to stop this person making contact with you. You can actually take this all a step further, which is something I'm actually currently just testing on our website now, which is a live chat facility. So this allows for real-time communication. You know, but you do need to make sure that you've got someone there, you know, manning and actually typing back and responding to people in real time. Also, I do want to just highlight one of the things we learned very quickly is that leads that come from the website are very time sensitive, far more than referrals or leads that are coming through other sources. You know, and this is probably due to the very nature of the internet, that people are looking for instant answers. So they want an instant response. Also as well, chances are if they've Googled business accountant, they may have contacted 2 or 3 other firms as well as yourself. So you're actually competing and racing against these other firms to actually contact and do something with this customer. So you know, it really is essential that you look at your follow-up process of how you're going to manage, respond to these leads. You know, and sometimes it can be as simple as an automated email that gets sent to them. So they send in a comment, the email goes back saying, thanks ever so much for your comment. One of our team will be in contact within the next hour. But just set the scene, set expectations, you know, and it will allow you to sort of manage the leads that come in far better. Another thing that I did extremely early on, and this actually comes from all of my background in direct mail and stuff, is that, you know, you need to try and create a point of difference. You know, if somebody's searching Google, you can be sure that they've looked at 3 or 4 other sites. So you need to do something to stand out. You know, and a lot of people listening might think, well, that's impossible. I'm offering the same service as a guy down the road and stuff. But it's not impossible. You know, you may deliver the same service, but you've got a choice in how you deliver it and how you choose to sell and present your service and stuff. So I actually started, and all I did was Google, you know, what some of the common complaints were about accountants. And I found things like, you know, I just don't feel they keep me informed about what's going on. I get charged for every second of their time and every phone call. I can't get hold of them when I have a question, or when I do get hold of someone at the firm, the person I want never returns my call. They don't take time explaining my numbers to me. They just simply lodge and complete them. Or even when they do explain things, I don't really understand what they're saying. So, you know, I sort of looked at these things and thought, okay, if these are concerns people have, and these are things that people are going to be thinking about when they're looking at for a new accountant, let's differentiate ourselves by saying what we will do instead. So, we use a lot of cloud-based systems, so, you've got your business results at your fingertips, so they can actually check where they're at there and then, anytime, any place. We do try and meet with people and explain the results in plain English, which can take a lot of training for some of the accountants, but it's just sort of making it simple for people. We also proactively monitor results. We respond to inquiries within 24 hours. So we set up an SLA in our office that all calls and all emails must be responded to by someone within 24 hours. We then decided to offer unlimited phone support at no additional cost. So we're encouraging our customers to call us. It benefits that they then feel like we're looking after them, but also it ensures that they keep us informed on what's going on. And sometimes this can actually lead to upselling other services. So, it's not just a cost, it benefits us. We do look at, translating the numbers and giving them practical solutions and advice based upon their numbers. And also, we implemented an upfront pricing policy, and we've got some fixed price plans so that we avoid any nasty surprises there. So, as I say, it can be easy enough to create a point of difference. You just need to try and think, how you present and position your service. Okay, copy. I can't emphasize enough how important the copy is on your website. So once someone has decided that you look professional, they can see how to contact you, they're going to delve into the detail. And that's your body copy of your website. And this is, I say, one of the first things I did when I joined the company, and I've done some copywriting in the past. And what I found is, and looking across other accounting websites, is that there's a very big focus on what it is that you do as accountants, how professional you are, your qualifications and stuff. Unfortunately, this is kind of the wrong way around. Customers are on your website and they have one question: what's in it for me? What do they get from working with you? And you need to approach and rewrite any copy based on the benefits that it offers the client. And I've had it jump to do it for years, benefits sell, not features. So, you don't want I complete and lodge tax returns. Using our detailed knowledge of the tax system, we will minimize your tax liability, saving you time and money, ensuring your tax returns are lodged on time, avoiding any late fees, so you can focus on running your business. Pick up what are the benefits of using you for your clients. So, and also, something you see often in web copy and all sorts of written information is that people have a tendency to put a lot of jargon in it. And, I'm the person who sits in the office saying, what does that mean? So it worked quite well, me actually writing the copy, because if I didn't understand the term, I assume that most of our readers probably wouldn't understand the term. So it either needs to be removed or at least explained so that you're not making people feel silly or stupid when they visit your site. And also write your copy as if it's informal, friendly, everyday language. It's very easy when you're writing something to try and sound smart and clever, and you tend to put in terms and words you never really use in everyday conversation. So you need to make sure you avoid this. You want the copy to feel friendly, so people feel comfortable reading it, which just creates the overall impression that you're going to be a company who's friendly and open to deal with. Okay. Also, you want to make sure that you're guiding your customers through your website in some way. They land at your homepage. Where do you want them to go from there? So you need to try and really think through, where you want people to go, and through links and web pages, actually create this journey so it feels natural, not that you're leading them there. So, the point of this is you want to maximize the time that people are spending on your website. You want to maximize the number of pages they're looking at, because the longer they spend looking at your site, the more trust they build and the more chance you've got of them making that phone call at the end of the day. So, I actually went through and I included a number of different pages onto websites. So I increased a few information. So I increased the amount of information on the website. So that answers people's questions, gives them reasons to stay on there, and actually it's a bit of a bonus for SEO. So, I went through and thought, okay, let's look at these services and break down pages. And then actually, if I was talking about tax returns, I'd have a link through to a page on tax returns and minimising your tax. So all of it, just try and think how you can explain each element. And the more you can tell someone, as I'm saying, so the more you tell, the more you sell. And also one of the other things I did is, and this was why it was very useful having access to the resources that BizInk provide, is that I included resources on each page. So we create a page on starting your own business, with some overall information, how stressful it can be and that sort of thing. So very much I'm taking it from the business owner's point of view. Then link that through to a page of 10 things you need to consider when starting a business checklist. And on the bottom of each page, listed some resources or useful tools and guides for these people. So will your business idea work? Are you cut out for running a business? How to set the prices of your product? And also as well, make sure I had a call to action on each page. So a call to action can be, simply call us today and we'll get your business set up for you without any hassles. But I can also use a call to action to gather some information about the person and send out some resources. So say, here's an example of the call to actions we use on our site. So, we give people a chance to subscribe to how you can improve your business and improve your profits. So this is on our business advisory page. The aim of it here is to gather a person's name and email address. They receive their free resources, and we receive people we can market to at a later date. Also, we offer an free, no obligation meeting. But do make sure, as much as it's essential, each page has a call to action. Don't overcomplicate things by having 4 or 5 different call to actions. Keep it very, very targeted. The first thing you want someone to do is to call you. So you need to direct them through your copy to call you. And you can mention this 2 or 3 times. So tell someone a bit about how you can improve their profitability. One of the headings can be to maximise your profit for your business. Call us today on. And at the end of the page, call us today for no obligation free review, and we can maximise your profits of your business. And then a call to action to actually gather some details about them. So it's just trying to think through what information does someone need to make decisions about whether they're going to want to use you or not. Okay, so that just sums up the the first thing that we're going to look at, which was to actually improve your conversion rates here. And like I say, I firmly believe that if you focus on this, this will give you your biggest bang for your buck, and you will see immediate responses of this. So what
Kate, could I just dive in there? Thanks so much for this so far. Sorry, just wanted to jump in. I've got a couple of questions if you wouldn't mind answering those.
Yeah, no worries at all.
First one was quite a specific one from Brian, and it's to do with calls to action. And it was that do you get many calls to your 1-800 or free phone number?
Funny enough, no, we don't. Most of the calls come in through the paid line, and I was discussing this just the other day actually, and I think it's to do with the fact that a lot of people now have mobile plans that are free, to landlines and stuff. But I think it's the perception that the 1-800 number gives. They're not expensive to run once they're set up. That it does just give that perception of we're not all about taking, we're trying to give back. It just creates a thing of, we're trying to make things easy for you. We'll even pick up, and I'll even say that in some of the email marketing campaigns I do, hey, give us a call, use our 1-800 number, and we'll even pick up the tab for the phone call. So it's just about creating an impression that we're a business who are there to support the customers. But funny enough, no, we don't get a huge amount of calls in through it. And we do get, a call numbers through every month, but it's about the overall impression at the end of the day.
Okay, fantastic. And I had a quick question for you, which was that you've kind of turned things on its head, and instead of trying to look at attracting visitors first, you've looked at conversions. So doing that first, did you notice an upturn in results before getting any more visitors to the site? By doing these things, did you start seeing more leads from the traffic that you already had coming to the website?
Good question, Matt. Yes, we actually started seeing, an uplift in leads fairly instantly, and this is one of the things that is exciting when you focus firstly on conversion rates. That it's there and the changes are visible immediately. So you know, we're not waiting for Google to capture anything. The minute we press publish, the changes are there and stuff. So you know, we saw a doubling of leads probably within the first couple of months after implementing the changes. You know, and then from there we then looked at improving the traffic volumes and stuff. And also, one of the things that's quite interesting is what, you know, once you start playing with improving your website and how it works and how it you know, feels with customers, it also really does support how well Google ranks your site. And you know, we saw some significant improvements in our organic ranking on Google as well. So you know, we started to get higher traffic just as a result of making some changes to increase our conversion rates. So you know, it's a bit of a double whammy. So you know, definitely worthwhile, and you know, it's a fairly instant improvement.
Awesome. Okay, thanks for that. Well, I'll let you get on with step 2.
No worries at all. Right, as I said, so we've looked at improving your conversion rate. So that is to get people to phone you off the back of your website immediately. And that's going to be your primary goal, because we all want more customers. However, you know, you need to understand that most visitors may not be ready to call yet. They're still in the process of researching, finding out who you are, and what services are available to them. So the secondary goal of your site should really be to capture some of your web visitors' details and engage them with your website. I was looking at some statistics the other day, and it was sort of saying 98% of web traffic comes to your website once and will probably never return. So you know, we need to do everything we can to capture these people's details, because then that allows us to you know, actually proactively market to these people, but in a way that they've already seen us, they know who we are, you know, so we're using call to actions to get their details to build a mailing list. So I'm just going to go through the 3 top things I did to you know, help build our marketing list. Okay, you know, become a source of knowledge. This has a number of different benefits and stuff. If you've got great content, people are actually going to sit there and look at your website, flick through different articles and stuff. You know, I spend quite a lot of time as well monitoring the results of the web pages, and through Google Analytics, I was surprised to see, you know, as soon as this page was set up, we saw almost a doubling of the duration that people spent on our web page. It's the amount of time they were actually looking at our site. So, you know, they're engaging with it, which we know, you know, in the past, it helps build trust in your site, your brand and stuff. So you become a source of knowledge. This has a second advantage, that it tends to encourage people to come back. You know, they're going to remember, you know, that you had a lot of useful resources and guides. Now, traditionally, this would be extremely time-consuming to create all of this content. You know, I'm personally not an accountant, so you know, I can't create technical stuff. So, but you know, what I wanted to do is, the original content page we had things like calculating your tax liability, very compliance-based stuff. But business owners are hungry for information on business improvement, business management. So I wanted to widen the scope, and it was actually when I wanted to set up this sort of page that I discovered BizInk. So it was this that allowed me to you know, discover BizInk, as I said, and from there I looked at the resources that were available, and we created a valuable business improvement and resources page. What we did is went through all of the resources available and then tried to section it up to make it more manageable for people. So we looked at things like planning, finance, marketing and management, and then structured the resources available under these tabs. Now, you know, in effect, this page took maybe a day for me to set up because the resources were already there, whereas to actually write and put together all this sort of resource, you could be talking about 12 months to do that. So this allowed me to, you know, create a page very quickly and stuff. So, and as I said, and double the duration that people were spending on our website. As I say, the important thing isn't just giving people information. What we need to do as well is capture the visitors' details, so that we can make sure that, yep, they've walked away with something that's very helpful to them, but in return we get you know, their precious name and email address, which will then allow us to communicate on an ongoing basis to them. So, yeah, they may not be ready right now to, you know, create and convert into a client, but down the line the chances are they will be. So, you know, these are call to actions we've got on our current website. So what we've actually done here is, this is a free guide. we've simply used the content that's on BizInk and branded that information and put this together to make a free guide or a giveaway. So someone can click on download now, tells them a little bit about the guide, and then in order for them to actually access and download this guide, they need to leave their name and email address, then they access it now. And we see, I was just looking at statistics, last month from website visitors, we had about 45 to 50 people subscribe or download some sort of content, which then means that we've got those people. So over the course of the year, we can build our database of people who know who we are and that we can market to by sort of 500-600 people per year, and that's just based on people going to our website, and not any other events we run. So, but also it's important, if you want to maximize the sign up, you need to make sure the offer is as relevant as possible to the person. So planning for disaster recovery, maybe on a cash flow forecast page or something, or just match your resources up. So I think I've got a slide here, brilliant. So what I did is I went through every single page we have on our website and I mapped it to some resources that were available on BizInk, and then we created the free guides from there. So on the home page, I said, we're keeping it simple, request a free business health check, or contact us today. Under business accounting services, we created a free ebook, Understanding Your Numbers. Now, creating an ebook might sound extremely complicated, but when you've got access to tools and resources, it's not. For this, Understanding Your Numbers, all I did was I took two guides that are available on BizInk. So one was Understanding Your Balance Sheet, and the second was Improving Your Profit and Loss. Put that together with an introductory and conclusion page, branded it. I've now got an ebook that I can give away, and it's really very, very relevant. If someone's looking at accounting services, it's about the numbers. Business advisory service, building your business brick by brick. These people are going to be interested in improving their business. Business planning page, actually put a free download, so, leaves your name and your email address, and you can undertake the action plan to develop your business plan in 5 simple steps. As I say, so it's all about matching the content and back to these pages, and this maximizes your conversion rates, and the number of people who are going to sign up to you. But you don't need to just limit this to putting it on your website. We also actively promote our free tools and giveaways and ebooks on our social media pages, and not just our social media pages, but also other social media pages that we're members of. And I'll talk about this strategy a bit later when we go into attracting leads. But it's another great way to build up a prospect list, which then allows us to market to people. Okay, so that just finishes up the step 2, which is actually looking at capturing as much detail as possible.
Thanks, Kate. I've got a couple more questions, if you wouldn't mind answering those. First one is from Rochelle. She asks a question saying, so you said that having people spend more time on your site increases the chance of leads and conversions. And her question is, what would you consider to be a good amount of time per page or per site? So how long people are staying on in general.
Oh, that's a fairly tricky one to answer. I suppose I say it's a tricky one to answer because people will spend different amount of time or duration on the web page depending on where they are themselves in the buying process. So it could be that they are just looking to clarify that you're a good accountant and you offer the services, so they may not need to spend a long time to actually then convert and give you a call and stuff. But what I tend to do is I monitor on a weekly and monthly basis how long people are spending in relation to the number of leads we get in. On average, I think people spend, if I can think back to last month, about 3.2 minutes on our web page, which is fairly quick when quite a long time when you consider that people are making an instant decision in 3 seconds whether to stay or go and stuff. But it can be tricky because we're talking about general numbers, which is what you get from Google Analytics. So and I have looked into it and delved down, and sometimes we've had people spend 10-15 minutes on a website, and so it can screw out the averages. But I know people spend about 3.5 minutes on our website on average, and we get a number of leads. So I hope that helps.
the last thing you said, I would add to that is that no statistic on its own is really worth looking at with regard to websites. So you could say, okay, we get 10,000 visitors a month, but if you get no leads, then you might as well get 100. It doesn't really matter. So I think it's balancing the time on the site with the outcome. So if someone's come to find your phone number and it takes them 3 seconds, then it's good that they spend very little time on your site. But if someone's come to your blog and they spend 30 minutes on it, then I think, and then they give you then they do something else on the site, by contrast, that's good as well. So I guess the answer will be it depends, and it requires digging down a bit and tying it to some of those business outcomes, I guess.
Definitely.
One more question before I let you go on, from Peter, and he asks, how important is it to have personal information like photos of staff members on your website?
Okay, I personally believe it's very important and stuff. So as I say, I've got 15 years experience in marketing, and actually a majority of it wasn't online, it was direct mail and stuff. And through all that, we were always taught, that people buy from people. So the more you can get someone to buy into an individual, the better and stuff. So, we always have pictures of people and some information about them. And to try and make it a bit more fun, I mean, this is at one, Meet the Team can actually be more of a quirky page than any others. Include some bizarre information about your team and stuff. So, you can make it a bit more of a fun page. And I know for a fact that looking at the website statistics, that actually the Meet the Team is one of the more highly viewed page after the homepage and stuff. So people do go there. And like I say, people like people. And so, I mean, I personally, also help a number of companies design adverts. We also put a picture in there every time because pictures are proven to uplift response rates and stuff. And, I know if I'm inviting someone into my home, I kind of just want to check out that they're normal and, that I feel comfortable talking to them and stuff. And sometimes it's just that. People just want to know who it is that they're going to be talking to. And it's something like accounting, they're going to hand over their financial information. It's highly important information to them. So anything you can do to make them feel more at ease is good. So, I strongly recommend pictures and stuff. And I'm in the process of actually trying to persuade the partner on this group to get a video and stuff, because videos have also been improvement to uplift response rates as well, because people get to have get a feel for you, the way you talk, your tone, everything. So take it to the next level, put a video on, but definitely, yeah, I think it's highly important to have photos, introduce yourself, and have a Meet the Team page. And like I say, it's our second most highly viewed page on our website.
Oh, fantastic, Kate. And I would say that our work with our clients bears that out as well. The team page and individual profiles certainly get a lot of views, so I do think they're very important in that sales process, and not just for new leads, also clients I think are interested in that information. So it's client retention as well. So no, I think that's I think it's really important. Okay, thanks for that. So yeah, I'll let you get on with the next section.
No worries, thanks for that. Okay then, so step 3. So we've looked at improving our conversion rates. We've looked at capturing data, but let's face it, we're not collecting data for data's sake and stuff. And you often hear people harp on about how they've got 10,000 people in their membership list or whatever. It doesn't really matter how big your list is. If you're not actively warming and communicating with these guys on a regular basis, it's irrelevant and stuff. Having lists for list's sake, pointless. So I'm going to share with you 3 things that I still do to this day, and that I introduced very quickly, when I joined the company, to actually work with the people who were registering their information with us. It's essential to keep communicating and stuff. So someone has downloaded a guide. You want to make sure that you maintain top-of-mind awareness, and the way to do this is to keep communicating, keep being top of mind for them and stuff. Now, giving away useful content is a great way to do this, because you don't feel like you're selling and stuff, but you are getting your brand in front of them. And I was talking, and looking at this research the other week, and it was showing how the number of times you follow up a potential lead significantly increases your conversion rates. And companies who would follow people up like between 7 and 9 times had a far higher conversion rate than someone who just follows someone up once. So, you know, it does work and it does pay to follow people up. So, you know, and people almost expect it. They've given you their information. They've downloaded something. So it's almost your responsibility to keep communicating with them. Now, this can be extremely time-consuming and a bit scary, but this is another reason why I love the resources in BizInk, that it allows me to be very generous with what I give away, because I'm not having to spend lots of time creating the information. And also, I actually use a number of different, so let me just take you through the slide and I can explain more about how I do this. So, you know, using email marketing is a very quick, cheap and affordable way to maintain contact. So before emails, if you had letters and stuff going out, you know, it becomes very expensive to keep in contact with people. But with email marketing, there is no excuse not to keep up with people and stuff. But make sure that any email marketing you're sending out is targeted and relevant to the person, because if you're sending irrelevant information, that's when it becomes spam. You know, you're sending things that people aren't interested in. And the fact thing is, if you've actually collected the information because someone's downloaded a resource, you know they've got an interest in a certain thing. So they've downloaded a cash flow resource. You know that for some reason they're interested in cash flow, whether they're running a business, thinking run a business, or having cash flow issues right now. So, you know, you can communicate with them about cash flow. Send them out free tools, how to forecast your cash flow. Send them, you know, a cash flow forecast spreadsheet, how to do it. You know, the more information that you can provide them, the more helpful they're going to think you are, and also the more time your brand and company is in front of this person. But let me just caveat this. Make sure off your email that either links through to your website or your very clear contact details in your email, because you want them, when they're ready to purchase, to be able to contact you immediately. Now, I said this can all sound extremely time-consuming, but you know, you can, with the use of some of the tools that are out there now, almost make it into a set and forget type thing, which sounds awful. But you've got things like MailChimp and eMarket Solutions are 2 systems that I've used to date and stuff, and we are not talking about a huge investment. These are systems that can cost you anywhere between $15 and $30 a month, depending on how many emails you're going to send out and stuff. And the reason it makes it so easy to do this is that you can set up auto responders and auto emails. So it takes a little bit of time up front, and it's well worth investing that time to get your process set up. But then once it's set, it can just keep rolling. And these systems will manage the whole thing for you, as much as you can create a form to gather and capture data, which sits on your website. It will then suck the person from this you know, cash flow forecast tool into the contact management system, so a database. So now we know that all these people in this database downloaded the cash flow tool. So you can then set up that as soon as they're into that database, they receive an email saying, thanks ever so much for subscribing to your cash flow tool. Please find it attached. We hope you find this useful. Then a week later, you send them something saying, oh, we hope you enjoyed that cash flow forecast tool. You know, here's another guide on the benefits of cash flow forecast and how it can maximize the profit of your business. You know, a week later, send them another cash flow related tool. A week later, maybe an action plan. So, you know, answer these 10 simple questions and find out how you can instantly improve your cash flow and stuff. So you can plan as many touch points as you want. You know, really ideally looking at sort of 3 to 5 touch points and stuff, but you're just providing them with information plus how they can contact you should they need any further assistance. However, I will say at some point you do need to actually look at closing them and stuff. So it's all very nice to send out information, but at the end of the day, you know, your purpose is to actually convert them into a client and stuff. So again, but you can send out a sales message which is targeted at them based on what they've downloaded and stuff. So you know, we'll stick with a cash flow example. So you know, it may be if your cash flow is keeping you awake at night, we can help you come up with instant solutions to manage and monitor your cash flow. Give us a call today on this. So you know, you can include a sales message at the end of each of the ones you send out, but then also follow up with a sales email. You know, because at the end of the day, you want to be converting them into customers. And if you keep in mind, you know, an 80-20 rule, so if 80% of the information you are sending and giving to people is informative, relevant information, then 20% of it can be sales related. And people expect this, and the chances are, you have a service that they are interested in, so don't be ashamed to actually sell that. That they've come to your website because they have a need, and all you need to do is make sure you communicate how you can help them solve the problems they're facing. And then it's not salesy, you're providing a solution. Finally, an e-newsletter is a great way to maintain regular communication with not only leads that come in, but also your existing customer base, because you don't want to forget about your existing customers, and you need to keep nurturing and maintaining contact with them. So, and great thing is the two email solutions that I mentioned earlier. You can build a newsletter very simply. MailChimp has a drag and drop facility, so it's very easy to make professional looking newsletter. But let's not just make it a compliance-based thing that's, your tax dates and this and that. Keep going with the useful information and stuff. And a way to make this not a huge time-consuming project is what I do is I actually look at the blogs I've posted for the week, and I pick 3 or 4 of the top performing blogs, so the ones that people engage with most, have the most views. I stick in the free resource that I've been offering in my call to actions. And then maybe another tool that's available. So I'm not reinventing the wheel anytime. I'm using the information I've already put out there to create a newsletter. Okay, so that sort of looks at our nurturing the leads and stuff. Matt, did you have any questions that you wanted me to address at this stage?
Yeah, I've got a really interesting question from Brian. I guess there's 2 parts to it. So one of them was, do you have any lead scoring set up, or I guess explain what lead scoring is and whether you've got that set up?
Okay, lead scoring is something we're actually playing with at this. It's something I'm working on at the moment and stuff. So we haven't been using it to date because we've been testing and working out what works well for us. So lead scoring, just to explain what it is it actually allows you to allocate a score to a client based on the activity that they've undertaken. So where I talked about we were sending 3 or 4 emails, what we might do is say, okay, if somebody signs up on our website, we'll allocate them 10 points. Then if they actually, click into the resource and read it, we'll give them 20 points. Then if they open the next email we send them, they get another 10 points. If they click into the resource we sent them in that email, they get another 20 points and stuff. So you're basically scoring each activity that someone undertakes with you. And then you just need to set it so you say, okay, when someone reaches 100 points, so depending on how many points you've allocated to each thing, they've interacted with you a lot, they've been quite engaged with what you're sending, it would be a good time to actually follow them up with a phone call and stuff. So it's not something we've been doing to date, but it's something we've just started working on. And then what I basically, because we've just actually moved to Infusionsoft, which makes the lead scoring process automatic and stuff, because we're just changing the content management systems we use. So then what I can do is I'll shoot an email over to Justin, who's the partner at our firm, saying, right, this person has reached the 100-point mark. They have got all of this information. They're interested in this, this, and this. This is what they've been doing, so that he can then give them a call and actually have a relevant conversation with them based upon what they've been doing to date. So it makes the process far easier and more fluent than if you were just to call someone out of the blue. So,
fantastic. Well, actually, that was the second part of Brian's question, was whether you had any automation set up. So I guess that, yeah, you're on the way to doing that, and that was a fantastic explanation of how those 2 things would work. So Infusionsoft, just to explain, is a marketing automation tool which can you can set up all these kind of rules and put content in there and trigger off all these different kind of things. So it can be very effective, but I think you agree, Kate, there's probably quite a big learning curve / setup time to do that.
Yeah, I was just going to say about that. Yeah, Infusionsoft, you're starting to go to $300 a month for the package of Infusionsoft and stuff. So it's an expensive one, and yes, I'm now mapping every single journey and sub-journey. So if they do open an email, they get this. If they don't open an email, they get that. So yeah, it becomes very complex. So it's certainly not something that you need to sign up to straight away. And the 2 systems, so MailChimp eMarket Solutions allow automation to a certain point. So they will allow you to set, 3, 4, 5 emails to go out at set dates, and we're talking smaller outlays. So I would say, as with everything, get your basics sorted out, and then once you've got that working, then you can look at other systems and stuff that are out there, that will require a bigger investment. But it's certainly not something everyone needs to rush out and do straight away. There are far cheaper ways to manage it effectively while you're still getting your head around what exactly you want to offer people.
Yeah, and important to say that you're just looking at Infusionsoft now. The results you've achieved have been without that previously.
Yes,
that's right, isn't it? So that
yes.
shows you don't need those things. Okay,
yeah,
fantastic.
Definitely. Okay, lovely. So now, okay, we've gone through. We've improved the people converting off our website. We're capturing and nurturing the leads we get in. We're now ready to start attracting visitors and stuff, because now if you've been getting 100 visitors and getting 1 lead, you get 200 visitors, you're going to get 2 leads. 500 visitors, 5 leads. So once you've got the back end working, it's the time to look at increasing the volume of information and the volume of leads going in, and this is where you can start then regularly increasing the number of leads you attract. So I'm going to talk through the 4 things that we have done to increase our visitors volume. And like I say, when I first started working and looking at the website, we were getting 150 odd visitors a month, and now we get between 500 and 600. And we're still undertaking activity to look to increase that. I mean, our goal for the end of this financial year is to get up to 800 and stuff. So it's an ongoing process, and what I would say is just set small goals and then look at continually improving and updating what it is you're doing. So okay, let's look at how we're going to attract more visitors into our website. Search engine optimization is one of the biggest and best ways to increase your traffic to your website. So when people need something nowadays, the first thing they do is turn to Google to research or answer a question and stuff. Now, SEO is a huge area. There's a whole industry devoted to it, and I could spend the next 2 hours just talking about that. And it can be quite cloak and dagger, and appear much more complex than it needs to be. There are some very simple, proven things that you can do to drastically improve your rankings without having to spend years at university learning what you need to do. So I'm just going to take you through SEO in 3 simple steps, and this will see an improvement in your site performance. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is actually come up with some keywords, key phrases, keywords and stuff. Basically what this is if somebody were to type this into Google, you want your website to appear. So sit there and think about the services you offer, the types of customers you want, and what they're likely to type in. Now here are just 5 of the ones that I personally chose for our firm. Business Accounting Perth, Business Advisory Perth, Tax Accountants Perth, Business Planning Perth, and Cloud Accounting Perth. So, and also I just want to say, the more specific you are in terms of your search for keywords, search phrases, the easier it will be to get higher performing website on Google. So, I mean, I could have gone Business Accounting Australia. Now, that would have put my website up against thousands and thousands of accounting firms in Australia, making it far harder for me to, get a good ranking. My firm's based in Perth, so the first thing I'm going to do is look at business accounting in Perth. Now, I could have taken this down a notch and looked at business accounting in Subiaco, which is a suburb where we're based. But by narrowing down, your search terms and stuff, yet sure, it will decrease the number of people searching for it, but you're going to be better getting 80% of the 50 searches because they're very relevant for you than getting 0% of 3,000 searches because you're on page 10 of Google. It is worth just pointing out that first page of Google is ideally where you want to be. 99% of people never click past the first page of Google. So the better you can do on first page, the more leads you will see coming in. So you've got your list of key search terms now. The second thing you need to do is actually create a page for every one of your. Sorry, my slides have got jumbled up here. Yeah, is to create a page for every single one of your search terms and stuff. So what we're going to be doing here is, so let's say Business Accounting Perth. This is my business accounting page. I've got a business accounting page which then puts it in my sitemap of the website. So it's a bit about how the structure sets up. This allows me to now make sure I fulfill, 3 of the things that will allow me to appear for business accounting. I can put business accounting in the page title. I can put business accounting in the headings of the page, not just the main headings, but every single heading if I can possibly can do it, because headings are, after the page title, the second thing Google looks at to work out what your page is about, and then build it into the body copy. And they talk about keyword density on this. So you need your keyword to show up a number of times, which then Google goes, okay, this page is about business accounting. I need to show it when someone searches for business accounting. And just by doing, this, to actually pick your keywords, create pages for them, and put your keywords in your page, you're going to get 80% of the benefits. Which it could be enough to get to first place of Google. If your firm is based in a suburb that there aren't a lot of accounting firms, or they haven't bothered to put pages in and relate them to the suburb, you could get to the first page of Google incredibly quickly. The second thing, which will generate traffic to your site, is blogging and stuff. Now, putting blogs is multifunctional. It shows Google that your website is regularly updated and maintained, which is something it looks at for SEO. Also, you can use your blogs to increase your density of keywords in your site. It allows you to deliver fresh content, and it gives people a reason to return back to your site. So you'll get people who maybe know that you put a fresh blog up on a Monday and a Thursday, and they're going to come back and look at it because they've liked your other blogs. So you get repeat visitors, which again builds trust. Also, your blogs can be a great way to direct traffic to your website, and I'm going to go into this strategy in a little bit later. So I personally blog twice a week. Really, once a week is the bare minimum you could do. Some people blog every day. I personally don't have time, and it can be a bit of an overkill. So yeah, twice a week. So and this helps, to improve our ranking on Google as well. And I don't have time to write fresh content for every single blog or anything. So again, I turn to BizInk, look at the blogs, the guides that are available, and turn that into a blog. So I haven't got to spend hours creating things and stuff. So another way that I structure the blogs that we do, which just helps me to focus on things, is I choose a theme for the month. So each month I have a different theme. Here is our business planning theme and stuff. And then from here, I will look at, these are the days in the week. So I'm going to blog on a Monday, Thursday, and these are my weeks in the month. So each month, each of these things, I can then look at the content on BizInk and find a relevant business planning blog. This just allows me to create some structure around what it is I'm doing, but also I benefit that if somebody is looking at business planning, I've got 8 different chances to communicate with them on something that's really relevant and key to them. So, the chances are I could convert them by the end of, the month's worth of blogging. So, it's a case of planning, creating your content, and then actually just posting them on your blog page. Social media. Okay, this is a great way to drive traffic to your website. And from social media, I'm talking about your Facebooks, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, Google+. The list does go on. But I would never advise you to try and do all of them. Choose 2 or 3 that are really relevant to your target audience, and then make sure you regularly update and maintain them. I personally use Facebook and LinkedIn and Google Plus for our firm. Google Plus more because it's Google's own tool. I want to rank well on Google, so I'm going to play nice and use its tool. And it's more for that reason than I get a lot of leads off it, but it certainly does help with your rankings on Google. So step 1, we're going to create a business page on Google or LinkedIn, which is very easy to do and something you can do in sort of 5-10 minutes. The second stage is we're going to join relevant groups and stuff on LinkedIn and Google+. There are already groups available and stuff, and let's face it, we don't have hours and hours to spend getting hundreds and thousands of people to like our page, which can be quite hard for something like accounting. So we are going to leverage the membership of other groups' pages. So on Facebook, a couple of the groups that I'm a member of, Small Businesses North Perth, which has got 2,300 members, Perth Home and Small Businesses has got 5,800 members. So I can share my blogs, and this is what I do, on these pages. So I put it on my business page, and also I share the link onto these pages. Say, hey, if you've got a business and want to plan for success this year, check out our latest blog, with a link. So then I've now just shared with 5,800 people a link to my website. Once I've got them there, I can then look to nurture and capture their information. On LinkedIn, there are groups you can join. We're members of the Business Networking in Perth, which has got over 2,000 members. Again, the same thing. So I will share a blog on our social media page and our on this group page on LinkedIn, and then direct people back to our website from here. I plan my social media activity pretty much the same way as I do my blog activity because I need to know what I'm going to be doing. Again here, I use an 80-20 rule. 80% of the content that I'm blogging is going to be general information to support business owners, and 20% of it may be direct sales message to get people to look at me. So here's just an example. So, on the Monday, Thursday where I've got a blog, it would be something slightly more creative than check out our blog, but basically that's the message. If cash flow is an issue, check out our blog and look how you can solve it instantly, those sorts of things with a link to the blog. Maybe Tuesday I'm going to go for a more salesy post. So if you're looking at business accountants to support you in your business planning this year, call. Give away a free guide again. This can link people straight through to your website. You've got your free ebook already created, so give it away to as many people as you can. The great thing about the ebooks and stuff is they're branded with your contact details and stuff, so they put them on their desk in the office. Someone else may see them and stuff. So sharing information is a great way to get your brand out there. And then Friday, it's social media. You can make it a little bit fun and stuff. So maybe fun facts, Fun Friday we call it. So fun facts, useful tips, a bit of a quiz and stuff. It's the end of the week. Let's interact and engage with the people who are on the social media and stuff. And another top tip for you here, and it's something I use, is a site called Hootsuite. And this actually allows you to simultaneously post on 5 pages for free. Or you can sign up to them and post on 50 pages, and it's just $9 a month. So all that means is I only need to write my post once, and then I tell it where I want it to post, and it will automatically do that for me. And I can actually schedule that for the whole month or week if I want to. So I might say, hey, Monday I'm going to set up all my posts for the week, and it's done. So it's all about working smarter, not harder, and just making sure you're constantly putting information out there. As I say, so you share your content. This is just an example of how I say a link into the blogs. So we've got a blog here on common employee onboarding mistakes and stuff. So all they need to do here is they can click on here. They go straight to our blog page on the website. Okay, the final one I'm going to talk about is paid advertising, Google AdWords, or pay-per-click advertising. It's one way to instantly boost traffic to your website, but there is a cost involved in this. So let's just look how the Google page is split. You will see all of these have got the little ad buttons. This means it's a paid advert. Your real goal is to get here. So for Business Accountants Perth, the firm I work for, we are top of Google's organic search, which means that, go back to the page. We're not paying anything to be up there. So every time someone puts in Business Accounting Perth, we appear and stuff. But if you're still working your SEO and your website and stuff, you can pay to get to the top of Google. People will know it's paid, but that's not a major problem. And this basically works. It's a bidding system. So you say how much you are willing to pay for a search term. I will just caveat that it can get fairly expensive because accounting terms can range anywhere between sort of $8 to $50 per click. Now, if someone types in Business Accounting Perth, you don't pay anything for just appearing here. When you pay is if somebody actually clicks on this link. That's why it's a pay-per-click. So, for something like Business Accounting Perth, you could probably expect to spend $20, $25 on someone clicking through, which is why I sort of said up front, make sure that your website's converting well before you start investing, in paying people to click through. But actually saying that, I would never send anyone to my homepage. As a bare minimum, it should be to your specific page. So if I were doing a paid advert here, it would be directing them to my business accounting page. But your best way to do it is to actually create a landing page, which is all about the search term, and it is just focused on converting someone off the back of that particular term. So the results I achieved to date through this wasn't using paid advertising. This is something we are playing with this year because we are looking to significantly increase the amount of traffic we get to our website, but it's not something that's necessary, but it is an option that's out there. Okay. Right, so that comes to the end of our sort of whistle-top store. So I'm just going to wrap up exactly what it is we were looking at. Okay, so as I personally believe, to get the biggest bang for your buck, you need to start looking at your conversion and then your data capture and nurturing before you look at any other aspects of it. So step one, improve your website conversion, first impressions count, make sure they can see what it is you offer very quickly and that you look professional and the website looks inviting. Make it very clear what you offer, have clear, prominent contact details, give people a choice of how they're going to contact you, create a point of difference, look through your copy and improve it, focusing on what's in it for them. Try and guide the customers through your website and give each page a single focus. Then what you want to do is capture and engage leads. So become a source of knowledge, have information that people can look and spend time reading, give away free resources in exchange for people's information so you can follow them up at later dates, and you can also use social media to gather more data. Step 3, nurture your leads. Don't build lists for this sake. Keep communicating. Give away as much free, relevant resources as you can. Be generous with it. The more information that's out there branded to you, the more your name gets seen. But do make sure you're not just giving away information that you do at some point close these people. And it can be a good idea to include a closing paragraph on everything you send. And a monthly newsletter is a great, quick and simple way just to maintain contact with everybody. Then you're ready to attract more visitors. And this, if you look on the back end first, once you start attracting more visitors, you will start seeing, an accumulation and escalation in the leads you get. Do this through SEO, blogging, social media, and AdWords. So that's pretty much the end of our whistle-top store. So I hope it's been useful, and I'm more than happy to take any questions.
Thanks very much, Kate. That was fantastic. So as Kate said, she's going to be sticking around to answer any questions you have. So if there's anything you'd like to know, I'd like to ask Kate, please use the questions bar to do that. If you're leaving, thanks very much. We'll send out a recording of the webinar. We'll also send out the slides. We've created an infographic detailing exactly the methods that Kate used to get so many leads and new clients through their website. I'd also like to add that Kate is now set up a company where she's working with different firms in Australia and New Zealand to help them achieve those kind of results as well. So if that's something you're interested in, we'll just bring up another slide and show you contact details. So you can email us at inquiries@BizInk Online, or use the link at the bottom, bizinkonline.com/tour, and we can take you around what we do and explain a bit more how Kate can help you as well. So as I say, fire in your questions. The first one I'm going to ask Kate is from Michelle, and she'd like to know what level of engagement are you getting from the email newsletters that you're sending to clients, and she'd also like to know, do you also send newsletters or emails to non-clients as well?
Okay. I'll start off with the second one. Yes, we send the newsletters and emails to the prospect list we've built up through the call to actions on the website. So the newsletter would go out to clients and non-clients, so our leads and our prospect bases. Level of engagement on the newsletter, with clients, it tends to be fairly high, that they will look at things, and it really does open up. It's a great way of highlighting all of the different services we can offer. Because, very often people just think of accountants in terms of the basic numbers and lodgements to the compliance area, without sort of thinking more about the business improvement and business structuring, that sort of thing. So sort of open rate wise for the newsletter, for clients, probably sort of 60–70%, with the prospects not quite as high, probably averaging about 25–30%. and then we'll get people clicking on different areas and stuff. Which is why, because we've got so much information going out there at the moment, we are looking at upgrading our system so that we can really monitor better what people have clicked into and stuff, so we understand their journey before contacting them.
Do you send the same information to clients and non-clients?
Yes. So the newsletter would be fairly generic, bar the fact that we will, it can change, and this is a great thing about using automated systems. You can make slight changes. So, we have the Dear Matt, as a valued customer from this group, we'd like to share with you some articles and ideas around business improvement and stuff. Or, thank you ever, if it was a prospect, thank you ever so much for registering for our free, and then we can fill in, automatically populate with where they came to us, so they can remember, oh, okay, yeah, I filled out that form online. Seeing as you run your own business, we thought you may be interested in these other free resources and tools and stuff. So pretty much the same information, but the introductory paragraph, really just setting the scene of who we are and why we're emailing them. We do differentiate.
Excellent. I have a question from Sandra, and she'd like to know how landing pages fit into your website.
Okay, landing pages. So the way I personally use landing pages, they are a page that sits at the back end of a website, so they can't be accessed via the menu and stuff. So people can only get there when you send traffic to them. They tend to have quite a classic makeup as such that landing pages you're designing for one specific focus. So it may be you want to capture data, or it may just be to sell a specific service and stuff. So you avoid having any navigation. They tend to be fairly long copies, so you're using the landing pages to drive people to a fixed outcome, which may be to register or to sell them something. So yeah, it's a very specific page and stuff. It's one of those ones that it's hard to summarize. That they're very there's a lot of background information that goes into them. But yes, as a general thing, they're a page, a blind page on your website that people can only access when you drive them there. So we'll use it through if we were running a campaign on social media, or we're going to be developing and using them for when we trial our Google AdWords campaigns later this year, so that it specifically relates to the advert that we're running.
Thanks for that. I mean, I suppose what I would add to that is that a landing page, I would say, is it's a term which has got quite a lot of confusion around it, because it's not an exact thing. People have different definitions of what they are. I think Kate has given the classical definition of what one is, but in another way, you could also have a landing page which was about, using Kate's example, Business Advisory Perth, but that could be in the navigation, and you could push traffic to that page. So I would say in more general terms, it's a page that is just about a very specific topic. And I think the advice would be, it's good to have lots of those pages on your site to target different types of visitors.
Yeah.
I've got a question from Taryn, and so Taryn's actually a marketer, not an accountant, and she asks whether, did you find it was hard to write content due to not understanding what you were writing about, obviously because you don't come from an accounting background. Was that a challenge for you?
Okay. Yes, as much as, which is actually, it fit quite nicely into our strategy, that we didn't want to be writing. We were trying to move away from being very compliance focused. So, it fit in nicely. But yeah, anything compliance focused, it would have been impossible for me to write information on. But it fits into our strategy that we were looking at providing more generalistic advice articles and business improvement articles. I had written several articles and stuff. My background, I've worked in employee engagement, business improvement type roles. So, I could put together a certain amount of stuff. The main issue I had, I actually only worked part-time for the accountancy firm. So it was purely, creating content and then executing, the strategy to actually deliver it. Just managing all the different elements. It would have been impossible. you know, if I was having to personally write all the information as well as manage the distribution of it, it just wouldn't have been feasible.
Fantastic. So it doesn't look like there are any more questions coming in. No, I think that's it. So, look, thanks again, Kate, for that presentation. That was fantastic. And thanks to everyone for coming along. Like I said, I'll follow up with some more information. So that'll be a recording of the webinar, an infographic showing the methods that Kate used, and also the slides from the webinar. And if you do have any questions or would like to find out more about what either BizInk does or how Kate could help your firm achieve those kind of results, then yeah, drop us a line at inquiries@bizinkonline.com, or book in for a guided tour, which is bizinkonline.com/tour. Okay, I'll wrap it up there. Thanks again for coming, and enjoy the rest of your day.